Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Jason, hey. So good to see your face. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New New.
So exciting to see everybody. Welcome,
It
welcome.
always feels like a surprise party, doesn't it?
I know.
It's just amazing. I know we advertise this and put it out there, but it's like every time your faces pop up and we scroll, it's like, oh my gosh, and I see you and I see you. It's great.
I know. It's so great. Hi.
Agreed. So many new faces, so many familiar faces. So excited to see
Yeah.
everybody.
Welcome. So we're going to give a few minutes for folks to keep coming in. But while we're waiting, and just to give everybody a little time to think, I would love for everybody to flood the chat. Yeah, tell us where you're from, tell us where you are. And if you don't mind, we would love, because our focus in our AWS membership is mindset and accountability. I would love for folks to flood the chat with their phrase for 2022. Share ideas. Don't put anything out there that you don't want stolen, because I might steal your mantra for my year, but share whatever you're thinking for your intentions this year. Washington, D.C., Maryland, Kentucky, Virginia. Oh, I hope you have power. Moving to Atlanta. Nice. Way to represent. Arizona. Sweet. South Carolina. Knoxville, Tennessee.
Beaufort. I've been to Beaufort.
Beaufort, where is that?
Beaufort, South Carolina.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Oh, Amazing.
Wilmington, nice. Hi, Walter. Hi, Harrison.
Hey, Irene.
So some of our Virginia peeps are without power. Does anybody from Virginia live
Gosh,
without power?
Christ. Sorry. Yeah,
Nope.
Virginia peeps, I'm with you. We are standing strong.
All right, Ellie, looks like we should be good to go.
Okay, looking good. Thanks. And don't forget to put your mantra for 2022, your anchor phrase, your intention that you're setting for yourself. You can pop them in throughout too, so everybody can look at them and see them. But we've invited you here tonight to just say Happy New Year from the AWS team. We are really setting our intention to start the year off with a bang. We have a lot of stuff coming up, and we just set up a roundtable so you all could be some of the first to know and give you the opportunity to ask questions. Don't be afraid to pop your questions in the chat. We have a lot of our team here to answer questions for you tonight. But as we're talking about our offerings tonight, I just want to say from the team, everyone here, we want to say that everything we do is because of you, and people here who show up and engage and ask questions and take classes, and folks who are part of our membership community, everything we do is only possible because of you. So thank you. And a huge part of our team is here, like I said, so I just want to introduce everybody quickly so we can get to the questions. Eric is already laughing at me. Behind that mask, I can see it. I'm like, Thank you. So, our CEO and brave and very cold leader, masked here with us, Erica Arvold, has been without power 5 days, 6 days? Yeah, she sent a video this morning of 8 blankets, counting the layers. I just feel for you all. It's her birthday tomorrow. Shout out a happy birthday to Erica. Priya tomorrow. Lauren Buyoli's birthday is tomorrow. She's not here with us. Priya had a birthday 2 days ago, so we got a lot of birthday love in the space. It's my nephew's 2nd birthday tomorrow, if you want to tell him happy birthday. A lot of powerhouses in January. So Priya, our Director of Education and Marketing, whom everyone probably knows, our Education Assistant, and soon to be sometimes teaching artist leading our first jam of the year, Katie Wilson. Our membership ambassadors, Leah Wills and Joe Red, who you all definitely have seen before if you've been at a roundtable, if you're inside the membership. Incredible part of our team. Evan Bergman and I work together as the artistic directors. Wave, Evan, hey. And we work with a fierce team of artists who generate and develop ideas constantly. Sometimes we're like, okay, give us a minute to get that idea rolling. Just give us a minute. So generating ideas, developing ideas for classes and offerings, and then execute them really well, if I do say so myself. So tonight we have Liza Jane. Kevin Ausu, is he here? Where are you, Kevin? Hannah Rose Broom, Justin Rossbacher, Jason Louder, Aaron Dangler, and not with us tonight, like I said, is Lauren Bouioli. If you're friends with her on social media, we also are missing Deja D and Sekou Laidlow. Tonight, Deja was stuck in Washington with snow, but both of them are gracing the screen in Women of the Movement, which premieres tonight on ABC. So 2 of our teaching artists are in Women of the Movement. Make sure you support and watch the important project. Ted Chapman is not with us tonight. He is without power and under 12 inches of snow as well in Virginia. And Richard Warner, who is the W in AWS, is not here this evening. We're definitely missing him. Is there anybody I forgot? Anybody want to say hi? Happy New Year?
Did good.
Okay, good. I got all the faces. Great. So, offerings, here we go. Remember, throw your questions in the chat. We're going to try to save some space at the end for questions as well. First, I'm going to start by just saying, here's what we're doing in January. Right? And then we're going to go a little bit more in depth about what each of those things are, so you can ask questions then. Yes, you're taking a total prep course Saturday, led by Justin and Liza. That's very exciting. Yeah. So our first offering in January is a total prep course starting on Saturday, this Saturday, 2 days away. It's a prerequisite for many of our classes. It's kind of the origination of AWS, the 10-step checklist created by Erica and Richard. It's an incredible class. It's a prerequisite for many of our acting classes. So if you want to be involved in acting classes this year, it's a great class to take to introduce yourself to our studio. 3 days from now, we are starting our second 12-week course, Elevate Your Hustle. Sunday, January 9th, led by Liza Jane and many, many guest artists, including a huge portion of our team at AWS. And then 2 weeks from tomorrow, January 21st through 23rd, we hold our second AWS Summit weekend. 10 class offerings over 2 days, and we may be adding 2 or 3 more. That's happening in 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow. And then finally, we have 2 more. On January 25th, the writing class led by Justin Rossbacher. It's a 3-week offering, Tuesdays. And then January 27th, we start small group actor coaching, which is a 6-week class. So that's just January. I would like to pass it to Evan. If you can talk a little bit more about Total Prep, what it is, why it's a prerequisite for us. And don't worry, we have at least 1 Total Prep coming up every month, sometimes 2 a month. But Evan, take it away.
Yeah, it's just really, most importantly, an opportunity for us to have a shared vocabulary as we go into other classes. It's Stanislavski based, it's 10 steps, First 5 steps are based in script analysis, and then we get up on our feet. It's 4 hours long. We have a nice break in there, no worries. And it's an opportunity to learn how to make authentic personal choices when you're given a script and you don't have a lot of time to work on it. We have a whole section on sensory awareness. So we get in our bodies and in character thinking, and then we work a whole section on life outside of the scene. So you help keep the scene nice and fresh once you come back to it and put that bad boy on tape. 4 hours long. It's our prereq for almost every acting class. And again, most importantly, it's about a shared vocabulary that we have that we can take into future classes. That's it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it. That's all.
That's it.
4-hour prep class.
It's the whole
Really
thing.
learn how to dig
You don't
deep.
even have to come now. That's it. Yeah.
Right. And Liza Jane, coming up this Sunday is Elevate Your Hustle. There are some spots left. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So Elevate, it's the monster class. It's the class that teaches you all the things that come before and after performing. So this is a non-performance class. This is how we're going to break down and work on the controllables. And everything that I teach, I talk about what can you control and what do you have to let go, because it's not it. I always say that's not your bag of monkeys, which is so many phrases blended together, but that's how I roll. So it's about what we can control. It's about, okay, so this is how a casting director is going to look at your headshot. Is your headshot speaking to what you want to audition for? If you look at your submission report, are your materials lending itself towards what your goals are aligned for? It's taking all of the steps that we need to be doing that we generally skip because we think I'm going to be the best actor I can be. And then we get on set and then we don't know what this call sheet means and we don't know who I'm supposed to talk to. And we're so nervous about all that we can't perform. So Elevate Your Hustle is going to take you wherever you're at. You can be a total beginner. You can have been on set 100 times. And we're going to walk through, hey, when was the last time you checked your actors' assets? Let's look at it together. Let's look at people who are really booking and see what they're doing with their materials. Okay, so what can we do to elevate that? And then we're going to look at things like mindset. Those are the two big things, the nuts and bolts of like all the steps that you need to take that are actual like ticked boxes. And then we're going to be like, how does it make you feel to do this stuff? When I work on this, am I feeling good about it? I'm not. So how can we affect that? How can we change that so that we enjoy the process? How can we change our mindset so that auditioning is really fun and then we can let it go? Because again, we can't control being cast. That's not something that is in our toolbox. What's in our toolbox is what we do beforehand and then how we feel afterwards. So Elevate is just going to walk you through all the steps to be the best artist you can be so that when you do get that opportunity to perform, you don't have to think about anything else. You don't have to think, oh, they want a demo reel. I'm not ready. I don't have that. Let's talk about making a demo reel that's going to work for what you're auditioning for. Let's talk about breaking things into clips and how long they should be and how long is a casting director really going to look at your stuff. If they're going to look at your stuff, what are they looking at? Are your links active? If I click on something, is it taking you to the type of role that you want to book? So those are the kind of things. And I'm going to go off script a little bit and I'm going to toss it to Joe, who is our AWS ambassador, because he just took Elevate. And he is he frozen? Maybe? Oh, you're not frozen. No, thank God. Okay, so Joe's going to talk about it for a second.
No, I froze myself because I'm going to work desperately not to gush. Believe it or not, Eliza is being so humble in what she's conveying, because it is everything she said and more. I could not believe the level of connection when it comes to artistic integrity and finding your business acumen, really taking what it is that you do, who you are and what you do as a screen artist, for those of us especially who are multi-hyphenates, right? Who sing and act and produce and write, and finding your way through the nuances of the Southeast market. I valued so much what it was and how generous all of the teachers were in sharing their real-time information with us as students, and tying that into what it is that we get to do in this industry. And even with the guests that came in, I really wish I had more time to speak more to it, but it's the kind of experience you really have to sign up for and get into for yourself. So Liza, thank you so much. I cannot believe everything I got out of that course and more.
Oh, thanks, Joe. That was perfect. I'll pay you later. Yeah. So we're going to have guests that come in, experts in the field that are going to walk you through their process or walk you through what they know so that we can all learn from each other so that, again, we're ready for those opportunities. Because if we are artists and artists is our business, there are things we have to start thinking about as a business. We will bring in a financial advisor to tell you what you can deduct on your taxes. We will talk about when do you need to be an LLC. We will talk about how to treat your artistry like a business while staying flexible in your mindset so that your creativity isn't stifled by all the crap you have to do just to get to perform. So I know people have tons of questions about Elevate, but I want everyone to talk. So I will talk ad nauseum if you guys have questions at the end. But for now, I think that's how I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, I apologize. Here we go. I'm going to just give you some James Clear real quick. James Clear in Atomic Habits talking about it's real easy to write down your goals, but we don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. And this class is really looking at systems and set you up so that you can get to the goal, because writing down the goal is the easy part. It's then like, now how do I do that? How do I achieve that? I'm just going to call this out, Naomi, courageously committing in 2022. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. I love that, Amy. I have to level up. Thank you, Terry. Inspired action only, Jackie. I love it. Stay the course, Jeremiah. Stay the course. Systems, setting you up to stay the course. So scroll back up the chat and look at everybody's New Year's resolutions. They're fantastic. Not resolutions, intentions. Lauren Buyoli corrected me today. Thank you. So I'm going to remind everybody that if you're a member, your discount does apply to these classes, including Elevate, Total Prep, the writing class that I'm going to pass to Justin in a minute, small group actor coaching. Core members get 30% off, pro members get 45% off. Great. So Justin, I would love for you to talk about your writing class. You led it last quarter in Q4 and we're doing it again. Tell us about it.
All right. Excited. We did it and we became like a family. So none of us wanted to leave. We just wanted to continue on. And multiple people actually, even in the midst of it, went away with some things to inspire to actually write. That got inspired from some exercises that we did. So it's for those that are never written before, it'll be useful. Or if you're a seasoned writer, it's also beneficial. There's core principles. It's very hands-on. It's going to be a lot of doing. And it's only 3 weeks, just kind of an intensive session. We go into the first week, a core of why. We do a lot of creative exercises. We look a lot of introspection and why it's important to create and write. And then from that into a how and just general principles. And then in the final week, talking about how we share, how we collaborate, and how we use that to continue moving forward.
I gotta say it, Justin. We taught a total prep together. You know, we're in this roundtable right now and I'm big energy. You know, you always ground me and I can't imagine a better person to put me in a headspace for focus your energy and write, right? Here's where we're going to put our energy right now. It's really exciting. If you have questions about the writing class, throw them in the chat.
Can I also say, Justin Rossbacher is my boss. He hires me on things that he writes and directs that I get to cast. So if you want to look up his credits, you can go to our website or go to IMDb.
Also, I got to say, okay, Justin, listen, the way he teaches how to give feedback and how to receive feedback in the broader context of your artistry, I have to add to that. I also took the writing course, and so again, I'm going to try not to gush. There's a wonderful, I'm still writing because of you, Justin. And I wasn't doing that before. I just wrote this morning. So whatever you're doing and dishing out, it's working.
Wonderful. It's also it's a nice opportunity that if your primary focus is acting and you haven't got the roles that you really wanted, or even auditioning for the roles you really wanted, there's some very successful people that have just decided to, you know what, I'm just going to write those parts for myself. And then that's what launched their career. So it's a nice opportunity to try something like that.
That's so great. So Liza's going to put a fire under your buns for Elevate, bringing all the energy. Liza is the Energizer Bunny. She has so much ability to drive. Such an incredible teaching artist, and you too, Justin. Thank you. And then for the small group actor coaching, which will be led by Deja D and Sekou Laidlow, who both aren't here tonight. Evan Bergman, I'm going to pass it to you. Will you talk about small group actor coaching, what that course is going to be?
Yeah. I am so genuinely excited for this first offering of this class. When I spoke to Sekou and Deja originally about it, like they're just so pumped to work with actors who enjoy the rigor of bringing in new material every week and playing with people who are really seasoned and generous. Those two people have spirits that will warm the room and will inspire you to go out on the ledge and take the leap. That's what my experience has been with them. And I can speak, I think, fairly for the rest of the teaching artists here. So the idea is, yeah, you will bring in whatever material you choose to bring in that given week. You'll send it to our team 48 hours before the class each week, and to give Sekou and Deja a little opportunity to get inside the material themselves. And then they'll work with you. And it could be something that you're currently auditioning for that you want to put on tape later that week. It'll be on Thursday mornings from 11 to 2. And it'll be, just like the title implies, a small group, intimate, and hopefully an opportunity to take some risks and really grow over the course of the 6 weeks. Both Deja and Sekou will take 3 weeks each. Yeah. If you have any questions, we can come back around to that one.
Well, and just to throw out there, both Sekou and Deja are booking machines, so you want to learn from them. you want them to coach you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Great. Thanks, Ev. And then I want to get to our summit weekend. It is a members only event. So if you're not a member at AWS, the classes, all of our classes are open to the public. Anybody can register for those classes. But our summit is for members only. So if you're not a member, you might consider, because not only will we have the summit in 2 weeks, but you will benefit from the discount on all the classes as well if you're considering a class. So I would sign up before the summit, so you get the summit as part of that signing up, as well as a discount if you're considering classes. Priya, I would love to pass it to you and Katie to talk about the summit and everything that will be happening.
Yes, we had a summit last year and it was just so much fun. It's a great way to get an idea of what is going to be offered within our classes, what's going to be offered within our membership as well. You also get to meet our amazing teaching artists and get a little taste of what they bring to the table, what their specialties are, and a little bit about their background. And one of the big aspects of being a member is not only the discount on classes, but you also get a discount on consulting and coaching with our AWS teaching artists. So just to recap, that's 45% off for pro members and 30% off for core members, which is crazy because Erica is entirely too generous and sometimes gives me hives when it comes to budgeting. It's okay. All right, Katie.
The summit, Priya, the summit's free.
Oh yeah, it's free and exclusive only to our members.
So as far as the actual summit, what you'll basically get out of the weekend is a great way to kind of, if you're new to membership, it's going to be a lot of the classes, obviously, that we're talking about, but it's also going to be a way to see inside of our membership. We consider ourselves to be a mindset and accountability incubator. So the focus of our membership is to make sure that outside of the gig, you are constantly inspired by your community. And just for me personally, I find that the membership portal is somewhere that I feel like I can go. Like I saw today, someone posted about needing a reader. Hey, can I have a reader? I'd love to read with someone. I posted about, taking a voice lesson this week. It was super scary and everyone was very generous and excited for me. So really what we're also going to show you in the summit is a little insight into the membership. One of the offerings will be through our membership offering, The Artist's Way, which we are expanding this year into the Artist's Life, which really came out of our members wanting a more extended experience in that book and Julia Cameron's work. So we'll have that as well in the summit. So if you're also maybe interested in figuring out what is part of the membership that you maybe don't know yet, the summit is going to give you insight into both classes that you can take and membership offerings that you can take as well.
So Kevin, are you here? Where is your face, Kevin?
Why do you keep losing me, Ellie?
There you are. Hi. I think you're on like my second or third screen for some reason, but when you beautiful face. Talk about a little bit what you're offering at the summit.
I think I just renamed the class to Agency Through Collaboration. If one of the big things for Arnold Warder Studios is mindset and accountability, something else that I think is really big as part of that is agency and awareness when you're in a collaborative space, especially because I think that extends to when you are working individually as well. So I have a jam session that I'll be doing at the summit. It's going to be called Agency Through Collaboration, but we'll be working in a small group and creating short pieces, really working through embodiment. And the embodiment we'll be doing is more so the roles you can have in a collaborative process, whether you're on set, whether you are in a play, whether you're just working on a script with some friends, or whether you are in a group session like this where everyone is talking. There are roles that people lean into out of habit, and there's roles that they can discover and dig into. So it's an opportunity to really dig into your creative agency and how to apply that creative agency in a space without outside risk of like, this is permanent forever. It's just, we're in the space, we're exploring it in our bodies, we're figuring out what these terms mean to us and how they interact with our mentalities. And you can see how you take that forward into other collaborative endeavors.
I love our teaching team. Hannah Rose, talk to us.
Hey y'all. So I'm Hannah Rose Broom. I'm in Atlanta for all my Atlanta folks. I am honestly feeling really enamored right now listening to everyone's offerings, and I'm getting particularly excited about not just sharing my class with you all during the summit, but taking everybody else's class at the summit. I'm actually really looking forward to that. So the class that I'll be guiding you through is a little bit off the beaten path. We're going to be exploring rest. And I think that is kind of humorous. But one thing I really love about AWS is we're looking at the holistic approach to an artistic life, right? So what is the sustainable way to be an artist living in the world? And I think so often we can, while it's great to understand what our title is, our role as an artist, I think we also need to embrace just that we are an artist. So I'm coming in to help you give yourself that space and that freedom that rest provides so that you can re-energize, you can invite clarity, you can have those that flow state that invites the the brainstorming, the collecting of new ideas, receiving those downloads, as I like to say, and Eric has heard me say many times, I was in a yoga class and I got a download. So I'm going to be setting up a space for you to take a restorative yoga class, to look at, going in with mindset, continue with mindset, noticing what that internal narrative is that comes up for you when you are moving your body, when you are trying to still the mind. What are those things that are kind of holding us back just a little bit in how we speak to ourselves even? So because I am a yogi and I believe it, I'll say it, the mat is a metaphor for life. So it's a great place to reflect. And so I want to give you that space to reflect while you are absorbing so much good information from everybody else. So yeah.
So every time Hannah Rose teaches and I talk to her afterwards, I cry. I don't know what that means, but I feel a huge release for some reason. So you're the perfect person to be leading that class. So there are some folks signing up for monthly membership. So I have to put this out there right now. Just so you know, tonight till 12 o'clock tomorrow or 1 o'clock tomorrow, Priya?
Till midnight tomorrow.
Till midnight tomorrow. Oh, wow, we extended that. If you sign up for an annual membership, Core or Pro, you get 40% off tonight. You get 40% off of a membership tonight. So a few people have signed up. So just if you're signing up, we will get you that discount. It is for the annual membership. The code to get that discount is 2022 AWS. Somebody will post that in the chat, I'm sure. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that because people are signing up. And I want you to get that discount. So Aaron Dangler, I would love to pass it to you for your offering.
Just one sec. You all, since Ellie broke up when she said the code, it is in the chat now. If you scroll up, 2022 AWS 40.
I'm
but just
sorry.
scroll up, you'll find it.
It was a great dramatic pause.
No,
I'm sure somebody got a screenshot of it.
No, Hannah Rose just made you cry again, right?
Yeah, I was crying again. That's what we want. Thank you, Erin. Thank you.
You are welcome. Hello, everybody. It's so great to see your lovely faces. I'm Erin Dangler. I'm based in Atlanta, but I just moved here from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and I saw some people from the Raleigh area on here. So shout out to my North Carolina peeps. I also want to shout out to the membership. I've been very involved this past summer and fall, and it has been an incredibly safe and wonderful haven for me personally. And I've met some wonderful people that have now become friends and collaborators, which is exactly what the membership was intended for. And we mentioned the Artist Way, and I found it to be an incredibly transformational experience. So just giving the membership a plug. But I, at the summit, will be teaching a commercial class, the 30-second to 60-second commercial. How many of us got into this business by first booking a commercial? Yes, hello. Yeah, okay, I saw a new raise hand too and a big smile. I can see why. I want to explore the three aspects of commercials: the non-speaking commercial, the scripted commercial, and the direct to camera. And they're all three very different styles, and combining that with our essence, as well as applying, drum roll please, acting technique. Okay, we often think, oh, I'm just not going to get this commercial because I'm just not this person. We tend to put commercial auditions in a separate category from our theatrical ones. And I found, because I naturally booked more commercial stuff just because I have a commercially type. Okay, but when I started applying all of my acting craft to it, instead of just tossing it to the wind, I noticed my bookings went way up, and I enjoyed myself so much more by making it my own. Because sometimes we tend to, I don't want to infuse any negativity in your mind, but sometimes we can dread a commercial audition, feeling like, ugh. So I found a way to make it much more playful and fun for myself. And actually, I don't mind going to making some money, you know? So, so that's me and a teaser. a teaser to come of a 3 evening class down the line that's not on the website yet, but we'll tell you more about that later. Who do I throw it back to? Ellie.
Thank you, Erin. Jason. I know I love putting people on the spot. You like that? Erica does it. I get to do it too. Priya doesn't. Katie doesn't. I don't know. You want to just a jam that you have led, the art of play, led us to the summit idea for game day. Do you want to talk a little bit about game day?
But of course. So yes, Ellie. Oh man, this is so beautiful hearing everybody's offerings and just receiving. We're in a reception mode right now. And so the art of playing, that's exactly what it is. Game day, right, guys? Because after it's all said and done, our entire experience as human becomings is to play. Like we're co-creating with universe, right? So that in and of itself is a game. That's playing, right? So incorporating that into not only our lives, but into our careers is like, you have to do it. You got to let go sometimes. I almost want to call it the art of letting that shit go, like, and just playing, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to just break out, guys, after getting all this great, oh man, the rest and the knowledge about the business aspect of it and all the techniques. We're going to go play like children do on the playground, y'all. Like, because we are children. We're children, all right? We're going to bring out our inner child. So, Ellie, we're going to play. We're going to play. We're going to play games, acting games. Guys, this is going to be just nothing attached.
Y'all, we had a Christmas party, and I don't know if it was me and Katie, Jason and Siddharth and Hannah Rose and Evan, but we got so competitive. They were like, wow, Ellie, I didn't know you were so competitive. And I'm like, when there's nothing to lose, I will compete harder than anybody. It's the best. That's why I love exercises.
If you want photo evidence, everyone can go to our Instagram page. There is photo evidence of Ellie in a Santa suit and Jason killing the ring toss game. Just saying.
I still think Katie cheated. Just kidding. So yeah, and I pride myself on being able to apply all that goes into playing well and how you play and the ability to find fun. I pride myself in applying that directly to everything we should be doing in our acting work. Our Meisner students can tell you, Dave's on here. We will play those games, and I will make sure you hear that vocabulary while we're working. I just love theater exercises, games, whatever you want to call them, and playing. Field day when we were little, just the sheer joy. I love it, Jason. Great. So I want to open it up for questions. I know a lot of questions are being asked in the chat. Pamela, thank you for coming from First Tuesdays and asking your question again. I saw Priya respond to that. So obviously that's something we'll be discussing, but thank you for bringing it back. It's been a busy few days, but I'm so glad you brought that question back to the chat. I guess because Total Prep, Elevate are our first classes out of the gate, or the summit or the membership, if you're like, do I want to sign up for this? Tell me more what this is. Ask your questions, put them in the chat so we don't miss them. I fear raising your hand and shifting everything might be a little challenging, but if you have more questions about Elevate, or you want to know more about our guest artists, or the writing class, or small group actor coaching, is there a link to the summit? How are we going to be releasing the summit inside the membership, Priya?
Well, inside the membership, you'll get links to sign up for the classes as well as the schedule. And there will be a link to kind of oversee or have an overview of what's going to happen at the summit. Keep an eye out for that next week.
Right. I hope that answered that question. So the only way you'll see the summit is if you're inside the membership. you might see a little bit about it on our social media, but because it's for members only, that's where the summit will be released. Any other questions?
Oh, we got a good one that I really want Erica to take. Danielle asks, so are we going to have to choose between classes?
Yes, hopefully. I'm going to talk like this. Oh, my mom doesn't come in. Someone told me once, that a film festival is a great aspiration, and a film festival where you have to decide on the films you want to go to, and it's a really hard decision, means you're doing something right, especially if you repeat those classes later. And we have so many incredible teaching artists and so many ideas that we started trying to make sure every class is able, if one wants to spend 60 hours out of their week in class, that they can. But we also were very aware that some people are only available in the evenings or on the weekends, et cetera, et cetera. So we've done our best to make every class accessible, but some do overlap. And as we continue to grow and whatnot, just let us know. Say, I'm interested in this class. I can't do it at this time. Will you have it again at that time? Because that's what our membership and our community, whether you remember or not, is really about. We like listening and reacting and creating things for you and what the need is. And that's how we've survived so far, honestly, is listening.
So there will be some choosing between opportunities at the summit. And a little bit of time here, Liza Jane, on top of Elevate, which is our nuts and bolts, everything but the acting, Liza Jane is also offering something at the summit that is new. And Erica and Priya, we might be talking about it. Q1 surprise. So Liza, would you like to talk about what you're leading at the summit, what your class will be?
Yeah, I am teaching a class about booking the co-star, booking that co-star role, because it's different when you only have one line or you only have two lines. Those under 5 roles, you have to prep for them differently than you do when you have a scene, when you have a full scene and you have more character development. And those roles where your character name is basically all you get about who you are, like angry neighbor, like that is, those take different, it's a different prep technique. And you have to embody a character in that one line. And so you don't have a whole lot of time to develop. So in that class, we're going to talk about how to do that quickly and effectively, how to make multiple choices, 2 or 3 good, solid, different takes, so that you can send it off and really book those co-stars. Because once you start, especially in the Southeast market, it's different from LA. In the Southeast market, you can grow. You can book, 5 to 10 co-stars, and then all of a sudden you're auditioning for guest star. And then you book 5 to 10, or so on guest stars, and all of a sudden you're auditioning for recurring, right? You can grow here. There's a ladder, and we'll talk about that in Elevate. But for co-star, for booking the co-star, for the essence of the co-star, it is a skill set that isn't really taught in acting classes, and it's vital in this market. Erica, one time years ago, in one of the first classes I took with her, she said Atlanta is what did she call it? The land of the co-star, because this is where they want people that are local, right? They want local people to go in for those day player roles, and it's a totally different skill set. So anyway, that's what we're going to be working on. We'll do a little snippet of it at the summit. And then at some point, either Q1 or Q2, there will be a class for it, because it's what we need, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions? I think I saw a question about one-on-one classes. We do offer private coaching. You can find that on our website. Again, if you're a member, your discount applies for private coaching. If not, you can still do private coaching with one of our teaching artists. If you don't know which teaching artist you would coach with, Priya and Katie or Evan and I can certainly talk to you who might be a good fit. in regards to that, depending on, where you are in your career, what you're wanting to work on, how you want to work in that private coaching session. So any questions in regards to any of the other classes? Evan, were you going to say something?
Yeah, well, Jessica has a question just about the writing class, wanting to know if they can bring scripts that they're already working on, Justin.
Yes, I saw that question too, and absolutely you can. Yep, it works, whether you've had nothing that you've created yet, or if you're already in the midst of it. So it works well. I do recommend having at least some idea of some things that you'd like to explore and not have a complete blank slate, but you can also bring things that you've already worked on.
Cool, thank you.
Jessica Lyle signing up for another class. Loves classes. We learn a lot in First Tuesdays inside the membership. Katie, do you mind talking a little bit about our studio, where it is, what some of those studio offerings are?
Sure. Yeah. I saw some people asking about the members taping members. So our studio is located in Druid Hills, North Druid Hills. It's in the Toco Hills Promenade, if anyone knows that, in Atlanta. And typically what we're doing right now, we are being very careful, obviously, with the current COVID spike. But basically what the self-taping room, it's free to pro members. Okay. So you don't, someone asked about how much that would be. If you're a pro member, it's free. You would sign up for a 30-minute slot. In that slot, you can do whatever you want to do outside of getting coached. So that doesn't include like a teacher coming in and coaching you. But you could do a Zoom audition in there. We have 3 different colors on the wall, and we have the lights. You would bring your phone or whatever you would set up on if you have a camera, and you would just have the space. Typically, we would ask that you would have either another pro member that could come read with you, a Zoom reader, or we've had a couple special occasions where we'll have someone there as a reader for you as well. Usually it's me, and we'll just crank out your audition, and it's really fun. But right now we're just kind of sussing it out with COVID. So TBD on how that will work in the next couple weeks. But once hopefully we move past this variant, we'll get back to a lot of in-person opportunities as well. And then in the studio, besides the self-tape room, we have one kind of creative cafe room, which is just a use it as you want space. There's actually a really cool large whiteboard on the wall, not behind me, I'm in my room. I don't know why I'm doing this, but anyway, but there's a really cool whiteboard. So if you wanted to go in and like maybe just, you're in Justin's writing class and you want to work on writing something, great. You could use that space for that. And then we have one large studio space, which is where classes are held. There would never be at the same time as self-taping, there would never be a class happening at the same time. So you would never be competing with that noise. And yeah, that's some of the in-studio offerings.
Yeah, and there's a really good conversation going on about core and pro in the membership. Being a pro member, you do get the use of the studio, which if you're not in Atlanta, it's a good question. Would I still benefit from the pro? There are offerings inside the membership that are pro only. And then there are membership offerings that are core only. And then of course the pro, if you're going to be taking virtual classes, offers that steeper discount at 45% off. So it really depends on how active you want to be in classes, how active you want to be inside the membership. If you want to be in those offerings that are for pro only, you might consider that. You can see all that on our website and kind of look through what each one offers. You have till midnight tomorrow night, apparently, to read through everything. So visit the website. These are great questions.
Can you talk further about Creative Cafe, office hours, and then what might be in person eventually and what is absolutely virtual as well? Because those are really popular membership activities.
Did you say Katie? I couldn't hear at the beginning.
I just said, can you?
Oh, can you?
Anybody, anyone on this whole call could answer probably.
Katie, please.
Sure. Creative Cafe happens on Wednesdays, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. That's usually there's a prompt given written by Ted, one of our staff members here, who's an amazing writer. And so really that time is 2 hours for you. We meet on Zoom, and you can do the prompt if you're a writer and you're really wanting to exercise in your creativity that way. Or if you're like, I've got to memorize these lines, AKA what I end up doing every Wednesday. It's guaranteed accountability time, which I find really, really useful in the middle of your week. I think it's a really good marker on kind of how the week's going. If Monday is off to a rough start, you can get back on it by Wednesday. Thursdays are office hours. That happens 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So this is a same kind of accountability offering, but it's just if you have a different kind of schedule, which we understand everyone's different. If you have a 9 to 5 and Creative Cafe doesn't work, come to office hours from 6 to 8. We're not having it tonight, obviously, because we're meeting with you guys, but usually that would be on Zoom as well. And you could hop on, get your to-dos done with other people. If you wanted to come in person for some of those offerings, you can as well. Obviously, this would be in the future. Right now, we're not really offering that, but you could come in the Atlanta studio space and actually be able to do Creative Cafe from there, as well as office hours. So those are two of our really popular accountability groups. And then I know some members meet every morning from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. I hope you're all just as amazed as I am by this. That was initially started by Lauren Buglioli, one of our teachers, and she calls it Magnetic Mornings. And a lot of our members are now taking that over and owning that space and meeting at 5 a.m. for accountability, which that's amazing.
Thanks, Katie. That's so cool. I just want to comment. I've gotten a couple of direct messages recently here on the chat, and there are some topics that are really wonderful discussion topics inside the membership. There's an app and people can discuss, and the whole idea is community and learning from each other and each other's experiences. So some people are asking about COVID and vaccination status and whatnot, and we have a COVID-19 topic that is within the membership where there's a whole lot of information. And then I also want to gently comment on another chat that, yes, I think a majority of our members have actor in their acumen, right? I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. But many, many of our members are also writers, directors, producers, and maybe there's a familiarity with acting, but I personally feel that writing and acting is so unbelievably parallel that even the 10 steps that we use for character preparation, I've had so many writers take that class and say, oh, hold on, this is a writing class. This isn't an acting class at all. So I just want to let you know who you are, who just reached out to me about it's okay if you're not an actor. I think everyone's a screen artist, casting directors, there are agents and managers, and we're very, very much hold everyone accountable within the membership that we are all equal screen artists and we're all there to collaborate. So there's not obnoxious networking, to put it very bluntly, happening. We're all there. I have a question that I'm asking right now about how to get started in modeling because my nephew wants to start and I have no idea. You'd think I would know something like that, but I don't, because I work in a very different area of the business. And so we're all there as our true selves and our artistic selves to support one another.
Can I add on to that? I like to call AWS the land of the multi-hyphenate. We really are in this day and age, we all have, very like intertwining desires and paths. So this is the land of the multi-hyphenate. This is the place where you can celebrate having many different interests that you are growing towards constantly. So it's going to be a space to cheerlead each other in that in those different areas of growth, right? I also just wanted to put this person on the spot a little bit, but the class that I teach as a 2-day intensive in February, which is Embodiment for the Actor, is a class that I love teaching. I don't want to plug it quite yet, but it's basically learning how to harness the emotions in your body, how they feel in your body, and how to bring that into your acting. Not leading with the emotion, but how can understanding the different ways emotions live in your body affect your tension and the way your character speaks and moves. So we'll be looking at that. Now, Joe Red is a writer, and he joined me for my very first intensive with AWS, and I thought that was really special that he came in and, did something that was very different for him. But Joe, can you talk a little bit about I mean, you shared something lovely with me, so I'm just going to ask you to share that about what it's like why embodiment was helpful in your writing.
Sure. I am not at all the woo-woo type, as everyone in the membership and staff know. I do not kumbaya with the best of everyone else, I assure you. That said, I have to admit my shock at just how much taking embodiment for the actor helped me. For example, for me, I had no idea that the same space in my body from which spurs fear is also the same space from which spurs my power. And that was something that translated oh so much more immediately into the writing, and everyone started noticing the vulnerability of it. And so I'm glad actually that you're putting me on the spot, Hannah Rose, because I've not had an opportunity to embarrass you publicly. That was a phenomenal experience for someone like me. It didn't cure me of my loathing of emotions, but what it did was give me a bit more comfortability with accessing them in public. And so thank you for offering that to us.
So my point with this is just to say that this is, you know, again, I'm going to go back to using the word holistic, and I kind of mean like WHO holistic now. We're looking at how to be all-encompassing artists, you know, that really expand our perspective of what it means to be filmmakers.
I love everybody. Professionally. So please, any other questions? Really appreciating all the dialogue and everybody sharing. I'm trying to find a way to put Leah on the spot here, but I haven't found it yet, but it's coming. It's coming. Leah, is there anything you want to add? So here we go. Is there anything you want to add about the membership or classes or questions that you see inside the membership that you think would be helpful for people to know here?
Hi, I'm Leah. I did see a few questions about, are there in-person classes in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area? I'm originally from that area. There's actually a nice population of members within AWS that are from that area, so I'm sure you could find a community of people there. But if anyone has not taken a Zoom acting class yet, I just want to say, don't have any hesitations with it. I get so much out of the acting classes I've been with on Zoom with all of these teachers. Can't recommend it enough. I don't think you're missing anything.
Yeah, and a lot of our classes have virtual offerings, hybrid offerings. We really want to get back to in-person, and we really want to keep our community safe. So we did offer Elevate hybrid in Q4. It is now virtual in Q1. Meisner is one of our only classes that is not offered hybrid. It is an in-person class, and that will be coming up in the end of Q1 here. And I'm speaking terms. Quarter one, we go by quarters. We're looking 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. So you'll hear that come out of our mouth. But Meisner will come up in March, which is our first in-person class in quarter one. So yeah, and we're really, really anxious, just like the community, to get the scene study and small group actor coaching in person. We are very anxious to offer both virtual and in person. We're feeling all the need for community. Our time in the studio in Meisner and Elevate was really meaningful. Just in some of the different opportunities that are offered. I will say there's a lot of benefits about being virtual too, that you that, like Leah saying, take advantage of. But
yeah, and I just want to jump in on that. You know, we've been at it for a while now, this virtual acting class thing, a couple of years, right? And I think many of us are at the point where we're like, please, can we just be in a room together? And yet, this is what we do as film and television artists. We're constantly in front of a camera. So obviously, it makes sense for us to be practicing in front of a camera. And as we're going to see, and as we are seeing, you know, this is what the industry is doing. Everything it's just too efficient, right? Callbacks are now virtual, everything is virtual, and it's a huge complicated thing to talk about, but the fact is it's what's happening. So the best you can personally work toward embracing it and digging inside of yourself to find how you can continue to rejuvenate being in a room by yourself and yet sharing space that's virtual with however many people are there on the other side of that screen will help you, I think, tremendously. I know I'm still working on embracing it, but I would love the opportunity to work on it with you all. So I just got to put that out there. That's it.
Well, and I want to jump in and just say that we want it to stay this way. We don't want COVID to be here, but I didn't see, and when everybody was listing where they were from, I didn't see a whole lot of LA. Okay. And that's still where a lot of the money lives, right? That's still where a lot of the decision makers live. If they're going to do their auditions and their callbacks via Zoom, that opens it up to all of us to be included in those auditions and those bigger, juicier roles. So we want this, and we want to get good at it. And that means getting good at listening through the lens, and then being able to get to perform it, right? We need to be able to do it in this little square consistently. So it sucks. COVID sucks. I hate it. I was talking before we got on about how angry I am at it right now, but this is the reality. And this is how we move forward, guys. This is how the Southeast market, again, elevate. This is how the Southeast market is going to take over, right? This is how we, especially as performers and writers and directors, this is how we take over. So embrace the Zoom and start getting really comfortable in this space. It's your own space. So you're comfortable. You could just be in your pajama pants, right? But you're giving it all, right? You're doing your audition. Okay. So yes, Zoom is good. We're going to all be like, that's 2022, right? Zoom is good.
Can I add to that? Is that all right? So I took, Erica, if it's okay, can I talk about the guest star series regular class?
Yes.
Okay, because I took the guest star series regular class and it brought Zoom and camera angles to a whole new level. Like I couldn't believe it. Like we had our computers and then we would have a Zoom, and we were watching people act from 3 different angles on Zoom. It was like having a mini video village in your office. And I had more fun in that class. And I was at a point where I was getting kind of like Zoom fatigued, and it just reinvigorated my thinking around it because we exercise our creativity and how to problem solve with it. And it's the way forward. So I can't say enough about how much Zoom is going to help these smaller markets get on par with La La Land. No offense to LA. We love LA.
Yeah, I just want to jump in real quick. I'm still in school. I'm getting my master's from Northwestern. I'm getting my master's in acting right now. And the transition to Zoom is one that a lot of people have been very hesitant about. But one of the things that I appreciate about being a teacher with AWS, and I think that highlights the mentality aspect of AWS and highlights what Liza Jane was saying about really elevating what's happening in the smaller markets, is that all the tools that we have to use when we're on Zoom to be actors, or even just to be present in the room with the people that you're on Zoom with, are the same tools you need to use when you're working on set or you're working on a stage. You have to have that present moment awareness. You have to be listening, and you have to be searching, not even searching, but you have to let your partner and everyone else is in the room. You have to let their intent change you as you're going through. So I think uplifting and highlighting the tools, the listening and the speaking tools, and the clarity in your speak and in your intention, using those tools as much as possible right now while we're still able to be in a incubation experiential stage of figuring out how Zoom is going to work, because everything we're doing now builds on to whatever we want to do afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, Kevin. And I just want to add to that. If it wasn't for this pandemic and for this virtual setting that we now find ourselves in, the community that's been built over this past year and a half would not exist. And I can tell you that I've never met Leah or Joe in person, but as soon as I get the opportunity to, I'm going to hug them and not let go for a very uncomfortable amount. Because I think that's the other really big part of this membership is community. You know, you make real friendships that I don't think, I mean, we have members in London, we have members in Brazil, we have a member in Tokyo, we have members all over the world with this amazing amount of not only shared knowledge, but also shared camaraderie. And I'm just so thankful for this crazy idea that Erica had and what a reality it's become, because I mean, I see so many of our members here, Linda, Elise. I feel like I've gotten to know you with all the time spent over this past year and a half. And it's been keeping me sane through this pandemic and virtual learning for children, Liza. I know you hear me, and everything else that this world we exist in has brought to our tables.
I just want to throw out again for folks who joined us a little bit late, we are offering 40% off annual memberships right now. If you scroll through the chat, you'll see the coupon code is 2022 AWS 40. With that, you know, depending on where you join in the membership, you'll get a 30% discount on classes or a 45% discount on classes and coaching, private coaching. So I didn't want anybody to miss that. Any other questions you have before we close for the evening? Happy New Year. I do know that if we weren't on Zoom, I couldn't scroll through 7 pages of people and see your faces individually, which is a gift. I just love scrolling the screens and seeing all the people. Couldn't do that in a room. So we really appreciate you. Please ask any questions remaining if you have them. Otherwise, Happy New Year. Am I cutting out? Priya and Evan, you're laughing.
Yeah.
Get me in my head. I am. Well,
It's
why don't you
only
want to shut me up and talk?
There was someone just signed up for Elevate, so there's only 2 spots left. So if that's something you're thinking about, you need to jump on it. We start on Sunday.
And then Justin, we also had another question about whether the writing class is going to be taught later in the year.
Yep, that's the plan. Keep on offering it.
So I will see you Sunday. I'm so excited.
Yay, Amari. That's great.
Hey, Amari.
See you Sunday. And thank you guys so much for your time. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Hey, quick question before we get off.
Yes.
Yeah, Naomi.
I want to sign up for the Elevate class, but it's not letting me log in so that it's like charging me the regular price instead of the pro price. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out before all the spots are gone.
Naomi, email aws@arvold or just shoot me a private message right now. I'll help you out.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Can I ask?
Oh no, someone has asked a question.
Rachel, go ahead, and then Jessica.
Okay, thank you guys. I'm still getting used to the website and all the features on there. In terms of when classes become available in person, or any classes that are about to start up, do you guys send members an email just to say, hey, heads up in a week, or this is coming up, just so we can get back on if we want to sign up and we know what's coming down the pike?
Absolutely. I would strongly recommend you join our email list if you haven't.
Okay.
Because a flow desk will come out. It will be shared on social media. It will be posted inside the membership, but I would say our email list is a great place to be because social media is pretty busy. So you will get a direct email from, I lose messages of people I want to follow all the time because there's so many folks on social media. So I would say sign up for our mailing list. Is that what you would say, Katie and Priya?
Yes, and within the membership, we usually post ahead of time. Like we'll post like, hey, this class is coming up. But we do know, obviously, yeah, your feed, it's going to get lost. So it's good to be on the email list for that reason.
Perfect. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel.
Actually, that is another membership benefit. Members get first notice of everything and anything that we're doing, first chance to sign up, and they really get to take advantage of that.
I was gonna say a couple things. One, if you're not a member, join. It's so worth it. So worth it. Join. And then the other thing I was gonna say is if you want to join, you join. Make sure you ask questions because everyone's so amazing. Ask questions. Don't just sit there and not ask questions because everyone's awesome. Leah, Joe, I reach out to whoever, even if they're not. I just keep asking questions to people. But everyone's so awesome, Katie and everyone. So anyway, just ask questions. People are there to help. So don't be afraid to ask questions. And then also the classes really are amazing. Like I've taken classes and I'm very in person. I like people like a lot. And so, but so Zoom for me, acting classes, I was like, no. But really, like everybody's saying, Zoom classes are not. So take the classes, they're so awesome. That's all.
Yeah, Joe and I are available within the membership to answer questions. I also love giving people virtual tours where I'll share my Zoom screen and I'll just show people around. And it's kind of like getting virtual coffee with people because we just end up chatting. So if you join the membership, I'll send you a message. And if you want to hop on a Zoom with me, let me know. I'd love to meet you.
You're so great. Any other questions?
Yes.
Travis had a question, but this isn't a question. This is the to close out the thought that I never finished earlier. The reason I brought up that I'm in school is that there are times when I enjoy the AWS classes that I'm in or these meetings more than I do actually being in class at school. So if that tells you something about the approach to being online, being a mentality thing, that is also another thing I want to throw in there.
No, thanks.
We'll keep that between us, Kevin.
You can tell all 100 people here.
You could tell everybody.
If you guys,
everybody.
I was going to do it too.
Travis, you had a question.
That's right. Hello. Am I on the thing? Am I here?
Yes, you are.
Here.
Oh, excellent. The Elevate, Miss Jane had spoke on there. Is that still strictly in-person class or is that virtual?
100% virtual.
Okay. Is it completely live or is it okay, so you couldn't watch the class recorded, say if you had work or something like that as of now?
No, we do try to encourage people if they have to miss class to get together with one of their classmates via Zoom and go over what was missed because it is a lot of information each week.
Yes.
But no, we don't record the classes.
Okay, no worries. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Travis.
I'm also getting a bunch of DMs right now, guys, and we are pretty much at time. If you email aws@arvold.com, Katie or I or one of our fabulous teaching artists will always get back to you, and we're happy to hop on a call or hop on a Zoom and just answer all the questions you may have.
Anoop, I'm going to ask you if you want to go ahead and ask your question, and it'll be the last one.
Yeah, thank you. My question was basically like in the virtual setting, what have you guys noticed that you've missed out as opposed to in person? And how is that made up by doing things virtually, like teaching virtually?
Ooh, man, that's a good question, Anoop. Man, you saved it for 8:14. Okay.
Sorry.
Anoop. So one word that comes to mind immediately is vulnerability. I always incorrectly thought you had to be sharing physical space to experience a collective vulnerable experience. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's so much vulnerability when there's nowhere to hide, man. It is just, everybody can see every single thought going on behind your eyes. And for me, that was a wonderful opportunity to just practice and invite people into my head. Do you know what I mean? Actually create it, so to speak. So
there's really no escape. So you kind of have to perform to,
or not perform. Yeah, depending on
Yeah,
how
or
you
not.
roll
Yeah,
that.
I see what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, there's probably people here who could speak to that more intelligently than I just did, but that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Hannah Rose has one thing to say. What?
Yeah, this is about the space. So I have found we use this word a lot in AWS in terms of as specifically an acting term, but public solitude, how to create public solitude when you're in character, when you're moving through an emotional experience, excuse me. What I have personally witnessed is that vulnerability that Evan is touching on is this, it's people are in a safe space. You're in your home. You are in your own private space, but also sharing space. So it's this beautiful hybrid, literally, of getting to practice that raw vulnerability that you need on set while also sharing space that you can then, that translates really well to creating that public solitude when you're on set. That's what I would say. It's been a great tool for people to find that comfort, to open up a little and go a little bit deeper.
Got you.
Thank you for such
Thank
a
you,
good
guys.
question. Yeah.
Thank you guys for all your time. I really
Yes,
appreciate
Tara.
it.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Thank you
Year.
so much.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2020. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Trent.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victor.
Thanks, everybody.
Jacob.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye.
Andrew.